Pioneering, a concept only a handful of individuals actually encapsulate and can identify with. The ability to spearhead and create a new form, mode, or idea seems easy enough in principle, but when it's realised that everything we do, say, think and feel is a product and culmination of our experiences, being the very first to achieve an entirely unique objective suddenly becomes a near impossible task. It is for these reasons that the majority of brand new ideas and artistic creations are riddled with mystique and are recessed in the faded corners of obscurity, an obscurity commonly known as underground. Subgenres that constitute to the broad umbrella that is the underground genre are often hard to understand from the perspective of the general public, and are instead recognized and understood by secluded subcultures and niches. The ambiguity and mystery that surrounds underground subgenres result in very few underground pieces having a huge impact in mainstream media, but this lack of mainstream success should not be confused as a lack of power over an audience. MF Doom, a pioneer of underground hip-hop, became synonymous with the underground culture due to his enigmatic songs fueled by the loss of his fellow group member and brother, DJ Subroc. Troubled with rejection from major record labels due to his work not appealing to a larger audience and the loss of his brother, Doom decided to seek shelter from the music industry for a while, fading into obscurity for many years. But during the early 2000s, when political tensions were running high and more African American artists were making their voices heard, Doom re-emerged, his face veiled behind a silver sci-fi mask, his music the medium he would use to construct vivid masterpieces that would launch him to the top of the underground world. Doom's use of retaining the obscurity that surrounded him during his hiatus led to an appeal to an audience, and offered Doom a chance to pioneer underground hip-hop. Through the separation of artist and music, Doom had immense power over his audience, and was free to lead a generation into intense deliberation and thought. His mysterious philosophy that manifested itself in his mask and multiple personas empowered Doom to criticize the industry that only a few years earlier had told him he'd amount to a nothing. While artists such as NWA and Lauryn Hill were constructing political messagery and fighting for equal rights for all races and genders, Doom's music was focused more on the music industry and interpersonal relationships, his songs illustrating a power struggle between good and evil, right and wrong, and yes and no. Doom's incredible power over an audience stemmed from the sheer uniqueness of his work. Never before had a hip-hop artist had such a mastery of lyricism and storytelling capabilities, traits he utilized to create vivid, descriptive narratives. Doom's focus on clear, meaningful narrative in songs such as Rap Snitch Nishes and Deep Fried Friends instilled power in his work and among his fans, with lines like,
"Close, but really don't know me. Mom, dad, comrade, peeps, brothers, sisters, duns, dunnies. Some come around when they need some money. Others make us laugh like the Sunday funnies. Fan be around whether you pay to bum me. You could either ignore this advice or take it from me. Be too nice, some people take you for a dummy."
The power that these narratives generate is a power that still resonates with artists today. Kendrick Lamar, inspired by the efforts of underground pioneers like Doom, released his Grammy Award-winning album To Pimp a Butterfly in 2015, an album in which Lamar provides a clear narrative regarding racism in America. Lamar's choice to stay 100% true to himself and his beliefs show through in To Pimp a Butterfly, and epitomizes the essence of MF Doom's work, fearless and unwavering dedication to deliver what he believes in to whomever will listen. Former American President Barack Obama claimed that To Pimp a Butterfly was his favorite album of all time, a testament to the power of efforts of people like Doom. Doom's power over an audience through his typical underground mystique is a feature that stemmed from his work as a pioneer in a generally overlooked genre. Through daring to be different, Doom became the first to master the underground craft, and as such has an undying, irreplaceable power in human history. Although MF Doom's source of power is his enigmatic pioneering, leaders in other fields of creativity can also stumble across power. Harry Baker is an English slam poet. Although young, Baker has won multiple prizes for his poetry, including the International Best Poet Award, thereby making him one of the best in the world. Although Baker differs from Doom in that he did not stem from an underground, mysterious culture, they both share the trait that is pioneering. Harry's style infuses comedy and geniusly written rhymes to an extent unseen in the slam poetry world. His narrative that teeters from incredibly cheery to quite sinister in a matter of seconds is unlike other slam poets' styles, and his comedic ways are evident in his poem, Paper People.
I like people. I'd like some paper people. They'd be purple paper people, maybe pop-up purple paper people, proper pop-up purple paper people. How do you prop up proper pop-up purple paper people? I hear you cry. Well, I probably proper pop-up purple paper people with a proper pop-up purple people paper clip, but I pre-prepare appropriate adhesives as alternative to a cheeky packet, which is in case the paper slipped, because...
Baker uses comedy juxtaposed with tragedy to not only make the audience laugh, but make them think too. Through the audience's contemplation of his words, Baker obtains power by becoming a resource of knowledge and an outlook on grim situations. To separate his work from the other slam poets, Baker uses complex rhyming schemes and rhythm paired with comedy and clever storytelling, hence boosting him to the level of a pioneer in slam poetry. MF Doom and Harry Baker are both examples of what it takes to harness true power. All you need is to do something no one has ever done before and become the best in the world at it.